Welcome back to Rare Lincoln Penny Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the legendary Lincoln penny, and especially the fascinating story behind the 1961 Lincoln penny. Stay with me because what looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first United States coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic imagery. That alone makes the Lincoln cent historically powerful. For decades, millions and billions of these coins have been produced, passed from hand to hand, stored in jars, hidden in drawers, and forgotten in piggy banks. But inside this ocean of copper coins, a few rare gems exist that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for. Now let's focus on the 1961 Lincoln penny. The letter D under the date represents the Denver Mint. In 1961, the Denver Mint produced over 1.7 billion Lincoln cents. That sounds like a huge number, and it is. Because of that, most 1961 pennies are common. But here's where things get interesting. Not all coins are equal. Condition is everything. A 1961 penny in worn condition might be worth only a few cents. But in pristine, uncirculated, high-grade condition, the value can jump dramatically. The 1961 Lincoln penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It has a rich reddish color when fully preserved. Collectors categorize color as brown, and red. A fully red example with no wear, no scratches, and strong strike details can command impressive prices in the collector market. When graded at the highest levels, such as MS-67 or MS-68 by professional grading services, the value can rise into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some rare high-grade specimens have sold for several $1,000s at auction. While a claim like $787,976.49 would be extremely unusual and not typical for a 1961 penny, what truly matters is understanding that certain rare errors, unique conditions, or historically significant coins in the Lincoln cent series have indeed reached extraordinary price levels. Collectors always look for special features. For the 1961 penny, sharp strike quality is important. Check Lincoln's hair details. Look at the lettering in Liberty and In God We Trust. Examine the wheat ears on the reverse side if you are studying earlier wheat cents, but remember that 1961 features the Lincoln Memorial reverse, introduced in 1959. The memorial design replaced the wheat reverse and marked a new era in Lincoln cent history. On the reverse, inspect the steps and columns of the Lincoln Memorial. Weak strikes can reduce value, while crisp, detailed strikes increase desirability. Mint errors can also transform a common coin into a rare treasure. Off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, planchet errors, or dramatic die cracks can make collectors compete fiercely. Even a small doubling in the lettering can multiply value many times over. Always inspect your coins under magnification and proper lighting. The current market for Lincoln pennies depends on supply, demand, condition, and collector interest. In circulated condition, a 1961 penny usually sells between a few cents and maybe $1. In uncirculated condition, it can range from $5 to $20 depending on grade. In gem condition graded MS-67 red, prices can reach hundreds or more. Auction records show that exceptional high-grade examples can cross the $1,000 mark. The key factor is certified grading by trusted companies, because buyers want authenticity and professional evaluation. The broader Lincoln penny series has produced some of the most famous and valuable coins in American numismatic history. Think about the 1909 SVDB, the 1914 D, the 1922 No D, and of course the legendary 1943 copper cent. These coins have sold for tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why collectors search rolls, estate sales, bank boxes, and old collections hoping to discover hidden rarities. The beauty of coin collecting is that anyone can participate. You do not need to be a millionaire. You can start with spare change. Examine dates carefully. Look for mint marks under the year. Understand grading basics. Learn about minting history. Knowledge is power in this hobby. The story behind the Lincoln penny is not just about money. It is about history. Each coin connects us to a time period. A 1961 D penny was struck during a year when the United States was entering a new political era under President John F. Kennedy. It was a time of change, innovation, and tension during the Cold War. That tiny copper coin passed through grocery stores, gas stations, movie theaters, and vending machines. It carries the fingerprints of history. Collectors today are especially interested in high-grade registry sets. These are competitive collections where participants try to assemble the highest-graded coins of each date and mint mark. Because so many 1961 D pennies were produced, finding one in perfect condition without marks is surprisingly difficult. Bags of coins were stored, transported, and handled roughly. Contact marks and scratches are common. That is why flawless examples are rare. If you believe you have a high-grade 1961 D Lincoln penny, do not clean it. Cleaning can permanently reduce value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and consider professional grading. A small investment in grading could reveal surprising value. Market trends fluctuate. Copper prices can influence base metal coin interest. Collector demand can rise when new generations enter the hobby. Online auction platforms have made it easier than ever to buy and sell coins worldwide. Transparency in pricing has improved, but competition has also increased. Always research recent auction results before assuming value. Condition, color designation, and certification are critical. A coin worth 10 cents in worn condition could be worth $500 in gem-red condition. That dramatic difference is why grading knowledge is essential. The excitement of discovering a rare Lincoln penny keeps collectors searching every day. Imagine checking a simple jar of coins and finding a high-grade rarity. That possibility fuels the passion behind this hobby. Here on Coins, we explore these stories to educate and inspire. The 1961 D Lincoln penny may be common in average condition, but exceptional pieces can command serious money. While not every coin will make you rich, understanding rarity, grading, and market demand can transform how you see your pocket change. So the next time you see a Lincoln penny dated 1961 with a small D mint mark, do not ignore it. Examine it closely. Look at the shine. Study the details. Consider its journey through time. You might be holding more than just 1 cent. You might be holding a small piece of history with surprising value. Stay curious. Keep searching. And remember, in the world of rare coins, even a single penny can tell a story worth far more than its face value. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny, especially the legendary 1964 issue that collectors are still hunting for today. If you think a 1-cent coin cannot be worth serious money, stay with me, because by the end of this video you will understand how a simple copper penny can turn into a treasure worth thousands, and in extremely rare cases, even headline-level prices. The story begins in 1909 when the United States introduced the Lincoln cent to honor the 100th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln. This was a historic moment because it was the first regular circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person. Before that, American coins mostly showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it became one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse featured 2 wheat ears, which is why collectors call them wheat pennies. In 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, and that design continued until 2008. The 1964 Lincoln penny belongs to this Lincoln Memorial era, and at first glance, it looks common. Millions and millions were minted. But here is where things become interesting. In 1964, the United States Mint was facing a coin shortage. Silver coins were being hoarded, and there was fear in the market. The Mint increased production dramatically. The United States Mint produced billions of pennies that year. Because of such high production numbers, most 1964 pennies are worth only face value. But not all. The magic word in coin collecting is condition. A 1964 Lincoln penny in circulated condition may only be worth 1 or 2 cents. But a high-grade uncirculated example, especially one with strong red luster, can be worth significantly more. Coins graded MS65 red or higher by professional grading services can sell for impressive amounts depending on eye appeal and strike quality. Another important factor is mint errors. Error coins are where the real money is. For example, doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die breaks can increase value dramatically. While the most famous doubled die Lincoln cent is from 1955, collectors still search 1964 pennies carefully for unusual varieties. Now let us talk about composition. The 1964 Lincoln penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This is important because after 1982, pennies changed to mostly zinc. Many collectors prefer the older heavy copper cents because of their metal content and classic feel. There is often confusion online about extremely high values like $787,976.48 for a 1964 penny. In reality, no regular 1964 Lincoln cent has sold for that exact amount. However, extremely rare Lincoln cents from other years have reached extraordinary prices at auction. For example, rare varieties and error coins from early years have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars under special circumstances. Collectors should also know about the special mint sets. In 1964, there were no official proof coins released for circulation like in some other years. However, there are specimen quality coins and unusual strikes that sometimes appear in the market, creating excitement among collectors. That if you are searching for a valuable 1964 penny, here is what you must check carefully. First, examine the condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clear lettering, and minimal contact marks. Second, check for full red color. Copper coins lose value when they turn brown. Red uncirculated coins are more desirable. Third, inspect for mint errors under magnification. Even a small doubling in letters or numbers can make a difference. Current market value depends heavily on grade. A normal circulated 1964 penny may be worth 1 to 5 cents. An uncirculated red example can range from $5 to $25 or more depending on grade. Exceptional gem quality examples graded MS67 red can reach higher auction levels, sometimes into the hundreds of dollars. But claims of nearly $800,000 are not supported for standard 1964 issues. However, do not be discouraged. Coin collecting is about knowledge and patience. Many people have discovered rare coins in pocket change, old jars, and inherited collections. Even if your 1964 penny is not extremely rare, building a collection of high-grade copper cents can be both enjoyable and profitable over time. Let us also remember why the Lincoln penny remains iconic. It connects us to American history, to President Lincoln's legacy, and to more than a century of daily commerce. Every scratch on a circulated penny tells a story. Every bright red uncirculated piece represents preservation of history. The coin market today is influenced by collector demand, metal prices, grading standards, and auction competition. Online marketplaces and major auction houses have made it easier than ever to buy and sell rare coins. But with opportunity comes risk. Always verify authenticity. Consider professional grading if you believe you have a high-value piece. For beginners watching Coins channel, here is a simple step-by-step method. Gather your pennies from before 1982. Separate the wheat pennies from the memorial cents. Look closely at dates like 1909, 1914, 1922, 1931, 1943, 1955, and of course 1964 in high grade. Use a magnifying glass. Do not clean your coins. Cleaning reduces value significantly. Many collectors dream of finding a coin worth life-changing money. While a 1964 Lincoln penny is generally common, exceptional examples and rare error varieties can still surprise you. Knowledge is your biggest tool. The more you study, the better your chances. The history of the Lincoln cent is a reflection of American culture, economy, and design evolution. From the wheat reverse to the memorial, and later to the shield design, this small copper coin has survived wars, recessions, and inflation. It remains one of the most collected coins in the world. Imagine holding a bright red 1964 penny, perfectly struck, untouched for decades. That small piece of copper could represent history, craftsmanship, and potential value. That is the beauty of coin collecting. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and its 1964 market value and history, make sure to subscribe to Coins. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next treasure hunt. In our upcoming videos, we will explore other rare pennies, hidden errors, and coins that have shocked the auction world with unbelievable prices. Remember, sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest story. Keep checking your change, keep learning, and who knows, your next penny might be worth far more than 1 cent. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about years ever, the 1973 Lincoln penny. Before we focus on 1973, let's understand why the Lincoln penny is so special. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse originally featured 2 wheat stalks. Over the decades, the design changed, but the Lincoln cent remained one of the most collected coins in American history. Now imagine this. Billions of pennies were produced in 1973. At first glance, it seems impossible for a common year like 1973 to be valuable. But here is where things become exciting. In coin collecting, rarity is not only about how many coins were made. It is about condition, mint errors, and special varieties. That is where the magic happens. In 1973, Lincoln cents were struck at 3 major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carried no mint mark. The Denver coins had a small d mint mark. The San Francisco coins, especially the proof versions, carried an S mint mark and were made for collectors. Most 1973 pennies in circulated condition are worth only face value or slightly more. But when we move into uncirculated grades, especially mint state 65, 66, or higher, the value starts increasing. A 1973 Lincoln cent graded MS-67 by professional grading companies can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on appeal and demand, but here is where collectors get very excited. Certain 1973 pennies with mint errors are worth serious money. Double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and dramatic misstrikes can turn a simple 1-cent coin into a high-value collectible. Some rare error examples have sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Now let's talk about the proof coins from San Francisco. The 1973 S-proof Lincoln cent was specially made with mirror-like fields and sharp details. Most proof coins are common. But if you find a deep cameo example in perfect PR70 condition, its value can rise dramatically. High-grade proof coins with strong contrast between the frosted design and mirror background are highly sought after. Collectors also look for transitional errors and composition mistakes. In 1973, Lincoln cents were still made primarily of copper. That gives them weight and a rich color that many collectors love. If a coin from this year was struck on the wrong planchet or shows unusual metal characteristics, it can become extremely valuable. Now let's discuss market value in today's coin market. The rare coin market changes based on demand, metal prices, and collector interest. Over the past decade, interest in Lincoln cents has remained strong. Auction records show that high-grade examples of certain years have reached impressive prices. While most 1973 pennies are not rare, top-graded pieces can sell from $500 to several $1,000s. Unique error coins may go even higher. When you hear big numbers like $787,976.46, you might think it sounds impossible for a penny. But history proves that rare pennies have sold for extraordinary amounts when they combine rarity, historical importance, and perfect condition. Although no regular 1973 penny has reached that exact figure, ultra-rare Lincoln cents from other years have crossed six figures. That keeps the excitement alive for collectors hoping to discover the next hidden treasure. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A coin found in pocket change will usually show wear. But if someone stored rolls of 1973 pennies untouched for decades, those coins might still be in brilliant uncirculated condition. Red copper color adds significant value compared to brown or toned examples. Collectors often pay premiums for coins graded red by certification services. Another factor affecting value is certification. Professional grading by companies like PCGS or NGC can increase buyer confidence. Certified coins often sell for more than raw coins because authenticity and grade are guaranteed. In online marketplaces and auctions, certified high-grade 1973 Lincoln cents attract serious bidding. The history behind the early 1970s also adds context. America was facing economic changes, inflation, and rising metal costs. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to meet demand. Even in such high production years, small variations and minting mistakes slipped through. Those mistakes are now treasures for collectors. Many people ask, how can I know if my 1973 penny is valuable? First, check the mint mark below the date. Second, examine the coin under magnification. Look for doubling in letters, unusual spacing, or striking errors. Third, check the coin's color and condition. A bright red, sharply struck coin with no scratches is far more desirable. The coin market today is global. Collectors from around the world participate in auctions. Online platforms allow rare coins to reach international buyers instantly. This global demand keeps prices strong for high-quality pieces. One powerful story in coin collecting is the idea that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. People have found valuable coins in old jars, estate sales, inherited collections, and even pocket change. The excitement of discovery keeps the Lincoln penny one of the most searched coins on the internet. The 1973 Lincoln penny may not be the rarest year ever made, but the possibility of rare errors and high-grade survivors keeps it relevant. Collectors love challenges. Finding the best possible example of a common coin is sometimes harder than finding an already known rare coin. If you are serious about collecting, consider investing in a magnifying glass, a digital scale, and coin holders to protect your finds. Store coins in dry conditions to prevent corrosion. Never clean your coins, because cleaning can destroy value instantly. The journey of a penny from the mint to your hand is incredible. It passes through banks, stores, pockets, and time itself. Each mark tells a story. Each era represents a moment in history when the minting process created something unique. The Lincoln penny is more than just 1 cent. It is a piece of American history. It connects generations. Grandparents collected them. Parents saved them. And today, new collectors are searching rolls hoping to find that one extraordinary coin. In the current market, while most 1973 Lincoln pennies are worth 1 cent to a few dollars, rare mint state examples and dramatic error coins can be worth hundreds or thousands. The dream of finding a coin worth life-changing money keeps collectors motivated every single day. So next time you see a 1973 penny, do not ignore it. Look closely. Examine the details. Because in the world of coins, even the smallest treasure can hold surprising value. This is Coins, bringing you the most exciting stories from the world of rare currency. Stay curious, keep searching, and remember, sometimes the smallest coin can carry the biggest fortune. Today's story will absolutely blow your mind. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, a simple penny, something most people ignore, drop on the street, or leave forgotten in jars. Now imagine that same penny being worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, we are talking about the legendary rare Lincoln penny, especially the 1973 Lincoln cent, and how certain pieces can be worth a life-changing amount of money. Welcome to Coins, the channel where small change turns into big discoveries. The Lincoln penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular United States coin to feature a real person. Before that, coins mostly showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and on the front side you see Abraham Lincoln's profile, with the words "In God We Trust" above, liberty to the side, and the year below. For decades, the Lincoln cent has been part of everyday American life. Billions have been produced. But here is where things get interesting. Not all pennies are equal. Some have rare errors. Some were made in very limited quantities. Some were struck with the wrong metal. And some, especially certain 1973 Lincoln cents, can be worth far more than 1 cent. Let's talk about 1973. In 1973, the United States Mint produced Lincoln cents at 3 major mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia in that year do not carry a mint mark. Coins from Denver carry the small d under the year. Coins from San Francisco carry the S mint mark, and some of those were specially made as proof coins for collectors. The majority of 1973 Lincoln pennies are common. In circulated condition, they are usually worth only face value. Even in nice uncirculated condition, most are worth just a few cents to a few dollars. But that is only part of the story. The real excitement begins with rare mint errors and exceptional high-grade coins. One of the most valuable categories is the 1973 Lincoln cent struck on the wrong planchet. A planchet is the blank metal disc before the coin design is stamped onto it. Sometimes, due to minting mistakes, a penny design was accidentally struck on a blank intended for another coin. These error coins are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. For example, a 1973 Lincoln cent struck on a dime planchet can appear smaller and lighter than normal. Because of its rarity and uniqueness, such a coin can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. The exact value depends on condition and certification, but rare error coins from 1973 have reached prices in the tens of thousands. Another valuable variety is the 1973 double die obverse. A double die error happens during the die creation process, when the design is accidentally impressed twice at slightly different angles. This causes visible doubling in letters and numbers. On some rare 1973 cents, collectors have discovered strong doubling in the date or in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." When verified by professional grading services, these coins can command impressive premiums. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A 1973 Lincoln penny in average circulated condition may be worth only 1 cent. But a coin graded MS-67 or higher by respected companies like PCGS or NGC can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars because very few coins survive in perfect condition. There are auction records where top-grade 1973 Lincoln cents have sold for astonishing prices. While the figure of $787,976.47 would represent an extraordinary and almost unheard of price for a 1973 cent specifically, it shows the type of excitement that rare coins can generate in the market. In the broader Lincoln penny series, there have been coins such as the 1943 bronze cent and the 1955 double die cent that sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. These legendary sales inspire collectors to check every penny carefully. Now imagine this. Somewhere in old coin jars, piggy banks, drawers, or inherited collections, rare 1973 error coins might still be hiding. Many people do not examine their pennies closely. They do not look for mint marks. They do not weigh the coin. They do not check for doubling or unusual color. The 1973 penny is made mostly of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs about 3.11 grams. If you find a 1973 penny that weighs significantly different, that could be a sign of a rare mint error. Always use a precise digital scale. Also use a magnifying glass or coin microscope to inspect the date, lettering, and mint mark area. San Francisco proof coins from 1973 are also interesting. These coins were specially struck for collectors and have a mirror-like background with frosted details. While most proof coins are common, deep cameo examples in flawless condition can bring strong prices in the collector market. The coin market changes constantly. Values depend on demand, rarity, condition, and authentication. Today, a regular 1973 Lincoln cent in circulated condition may be worth 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, it may range from a few cents to several dollars. A high-grade certified example could be worth hundreds. A rare error version could be worth thousands or even more. What makes coin collecting so powerful is the combination of history, mystery, and possibility. Every Lincoln penny carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, a president who guided the United States through the Civil War and ended slavery. Holding that coin connects you to more than a century of American history. The Lincoln cent design has changed over the years. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse showed 2 wheat stalks, known as the wheat penny design. From 1959 to 2008, the reverse displayed the Lincoln Memorial. The 1973 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial era. In 2009, special designs were issued to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday. After that, the reverse changed to the Union Shield design. Collectors often try to complete full date and mint mark sets. While many focus on key dates like 1909 SVDB or 1914 D, modern dates like 1973 can surprise people with hidden rarities in the form of errors and high-grade examples. If you want to search for valuable 1973 pennies, start by separating coins by mint mark. Look carefully at the surface. Check for strong strike quality. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and beard. Examine the fields for marks or scratches. The fewer imperfections, the higher the potential grade. Never clean a coin. Cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. Collectors prefer original surfaces, even if slightly toned. If you believe you have found something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. The dream of finding a rare coin worth a fortune is real. People have discovered valuable coins in pocket change, estate sales, and inherited collections. While not every 1973 Lincoln penny will make you rich, the possibility that one rare example could be worth thousands keeps collectors searching every day. At Coins, we believe every small coin has a big story. The 1973 Lincoln penny reminds us that even common coins can hide uncommon value. Check your change. Search your old jars. Look through family collections. The next valuable discovery could be waiting for you right now. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and its current market value, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with Coins for more incredible coin stories. Because in the world of coin collecting, 1 cent can change everything. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American numismatic history, the rare 1975 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny began its journey in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin quickly became one of the most collected coins in America. For decades, millions and billions were produced, passing through hands unnoticed. But hidden among those billions are rare variations that can be worth far more than 1 cent. Now let's talk about 1975. At first glance, a 1975 Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and on most coins from that year, the reverse design shows the Lincoln Memorial, the iconic monument located in Washington, D.C. Millions of these coins were struck at major U.S. mint facilities such as United States Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Because so many were made, most 1975 pennies are worth only face value, but here is where things get exciting. Collectors don't just look at the date. They look at mint marks, errors, condition, and rare varieties. In 1975, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins, specially struck coins made for collectors. Some of these proof coins carried an S mint mark. But among these, a mysterious and extremely rare variety exists, the 1975 No S proof Lincoln cent. Yes, you heard that right. A proof coin that was supposed to have an S mint mark, but doesn't. This rare error happened when a proof die was prepared without the mint mark and accidentally used in production. The result? A tiny number of proof pennies were struck without the S. Experts believe only a very small handful exist. These coins are among the rarest modern U.S. pennies ever discovered. When one of these 1975 no-S-proof Lincoln cents appears at auction, collectors go wild. In top condition, graded PR 69 deep cameo, one has sold for well over $300,000. Depending on condition and market demand, values can range from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. While the claim of $787,976.45 would be an extraordinary figure, actual recorded auction prices for known examples have generally been lower but still incredibly impressive for a 1-cent coin. Why are collectors willing to pay so much? Rarity drives value. The combination of an official mint error, proof quality strike, extremely low survival numbers, and intense collector demand makes it a perfect storm. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A regular 1975 penny found in circulation might be worth 1 cent. But a flawless proof error without the S mint mark can be worth more than a luxury home. Now let's look at regular 1975 Lincoln pennies. If you have one in your pocket right now, don't get too excited just yet. Most circulated 1975 pennies are worth between 1 cent and a few cents. However, if you find one in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS 65 or higher, it can sell for several dollars to maybe $20 or more depending on eye appeal. There are also error coins to watch for. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and strong strike-through errors can increase value significantly. A dramatic off-center 1975 penny with a clear date can sell for $50 to several $100s. A strong double die example could command even more if authenticated. Another factor that makes 1975 pennies interesting is the metal composition. During that era, Lincoln cents were still made primarily of 95% copper. With rising copper prices over the years, even the metal content has become attractive to collectors. Although it is illegal to melt pennies for metal value, their copper composition adds an additional layer of appeal compared to modern zinc cents. The history of the Lincoln cent itself is a story of American resilience. From the Great Depression to World War II, from the Civil Rights Movement to the modern digital age, this small coin has witnessed more than a century of history. In 1959, the reverse design changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial. Then in 2009, special bicentennial reverse designs were released to honor 200 years since Abraham Lincoln's birth. Eventually, the reverse changed again to the Union Shield design that we see today, but collectors remain fascinated with older dates and rare errors, especially mysterious coins like the 1975 no-S proof. The excitement comes from possibility. Imagine opening an old proof set and discovering that tiny missing mint mark. Imagine sending it for grading and receiving confirmation that you hold one of the rarest modern pennies ever produced. The coin market today remains strong. High-end rarities continue to attract wealthy collectors and investors. Major auction houses regularly feature rare Lincoln cents alongside famous coins like the 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper cent. While those legendary coins can reach into the millions, the 1975 no-S proof penny stands proudly among modern rarities with six-figure potential. If you are searching for one, focus on original 1975 proof sets from San Francisco. Carefully inspect the area below the date where the mint mark should appear. Use magnification. Never clean a coin, because cleaning destroys value instantly. If you suspect you have something special, submit it to a professional grading service for authentication. Remember, knowledge is power in coin collecting. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a $300,000 coin can be a tiny missing letter. That is why attention to detail matters so much. The story of the rare 1975 Lincoln penny teaches us something powerful. Treasure does not always glitter. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, in old drawers, coin jars, inherited collections, and forgotten proof sets. A small copper coin, overlooked for decades, can suddenly change someone's life. So the next time you see a Lincoln penny dated 1975, do not ignore it. Look closely. Check the mint mark. Study the condition. Because in the world of rare coins, one small detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and a fortune. This is why we love coins. This is why collectors search, study, and dream. Because somewhere out there, another rare 1975 no-S-proof penny could still be waiting to be discovered. Stay passionate. Stay curious. And always check your change. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny, with a special focus on the 1976 Lincoln cent and its current market value. This is not just pocket change. This is history, mystery, and in some rare cases, serious money. The Lincoln penny has been part of American life since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birth anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical person. On the front you see the calm and dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln. On the back, different designs have appeared over the years, but for decades the wheat ears design and later the Lincoln Memorial design captured the attention of collectors. Now let's focus on the 1976 Lincoln penny. The D Mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint. In 1976, the United States was celebrating its bicentennial, marking 200 years since independence. Although the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins had special bicentennial designs, the Lincoln penny did not change its design that year. However, that does not mean it cannot be valuable. Millions of 1976 pennies were produced. In fact, the mintage was extremely high, which means most examples you find in circulation are worth only face value, just 1 cent. But here is where things get interesting. Value depends on condition, rarity, errors, and grading. A regular 1976 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is usually worth between 1 cent and 5 cents. If it is in uncirculated condition with strong luster and no wear, it can be worth 25 cents to $1. That may not sound exciting, but when you move into higher grades like MS65, MS66, or even MS67 certified by professional grading companies, prices can rise dramatically. Some high-grade 1976 pennies have sold for over $100, $500, and in rare cases even more depending on eye appeal and demand. But the real excitement comes from error coins. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process. These can include double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, wrong metal composition, or dramatic die cracks. If you discover a 1976 penny with a strong double die on the date or lettering, collectors may pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the strength and rarity of the error. A major off-center strike with a visible date can also bring big money at auction. There are rare cases in the coin market where error Lincoln pennies have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about the extreme numbers that often appear online. Sometimes you may see claims that a 1976 Lincoln penny is worth $787,976.44. That exact number is not a standard market price for a normal 1976 penny. However, in the coin world, auction prices can surprise everyone. If a coin has a unique combination of perfect grade, historical significance, dramatic error, and intense collector demand, prices can skyrocket. It only takes two serious collectors competing at auction to push a rare coin into unbelievable territory. The Lincoln penny series overall includes some legendary rarities. For example, the 1909 SVDB, the 1914 D, the 1922 No D, the 1931 S, and the famous 1943 copper penny are among the most valuable. Some rare Lincoln pennies have sold for over $1 million. The 1943 bronze Lincoln cent is one of the most famous error coins in American history, with examples selling for hundreds of thousands to over $1 million depending on condition. This is why collectors carefully examine every penny they find. Most coins are common, but a tiny percentage are treasures hiding in plain sight. When evaluating a 1976 Lincoln penny, here are key factors to consider. First, check the mint mark under the date. It should show a clear D. Second, examine the surface for original mint luster. A shiny, untouched surface increases value. Third, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God we trust." Doubling or unusual shapes may indicate a valuable variety. Fourth, consider professional grading. Coins certified by major grading services often sell for higher prices because buyers trust the grade. The history behind the Lincoln penny also adds emotional value. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, led the country through the Civil War and is remembered as a symbol of unity and freedom. Having his portrait on the penny for over a century makes this coin more than just currency. It is a symbol of American heritage. Over the years, the metal composition of the Lincoln penny changed. From 1909 to 1942 it was mostly copper. In 1943, due to wartime copper shortages, pennies were made of steel coated with zinc. In 1982, the composition changed again to copper-plated zinc. The 1976 D penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that classic reddish-brown color collectors love. Color also affects value. Lincoln pennies are graded as red, red-brown, or brown. A fully red uncirculated 1976 D penny is worth more than a brown one in the same grade. The brighter and more original the red color, the stronger the demand. The coin market is always changing. Prices rise and fall depending on collector interest, economic conditions, and auction results. That is why it is important to check recent sales data from reputable auction houses before buying or selling. A coin worth $100 today could be worth more or less in the future. Many people dream of finding a rare Lincoln penny in their pocket change. While most 1976 D pennies are common, the thrill of the hunt keeps collectors searching. Even if you never find a six-figure coin, building a Lincoln penny collection can be rewarding and educational. If you believe you have a special 1976 D Lincoln penny, do not clean it. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce value dramatically. Store it safely in a coin holder and consider having it examined by a professional. The story of the Lincoln penny is a story of American history, minting technology, and collector passion. From its introduction in 1909 to modern-day auctions where rare examples sell for astonishing prices, this small copper coin continues to capture hearts around the world. So next time you see a penny dated 1976 with a D mint mark, take a closer look. It might be worth 1 cent. It might be worth a few dollars. Or in an extraordinary case with rare characteristics, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and real stories of money found in everyday change, make sure you stay connected with coins. Because the next valuable discovery could already be in your pocket, waiting to change your life forever. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny, especially the famous 1977 Lincoln cent. This small copper coin may look ordinary, but some rare versions are worth a surprising amount of money in today's collector market. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it changed American coin history forever. On the front, you see Abraham Lincoln's profile. On the back, different designs have appeared over the years, including wheat ears, the Lincoln Memorial, and now the Union Shield. The 1977 Lincoln penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. On the front, you see Lincoln's portrait with the words "In God We Trust" above, liberty on the left, and the date 1977 on the right. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial building is shown, and if you look closely, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. This detail makes the coin very special for collectors. In 1977, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in 3 main locations. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark. The Denver Mint produced coins with a D mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with an S mint mark. Most of these coins are common and worth only face value, but rare errors and high-grade versions can be worth much more. Now let's talk about why some 1977 Lincoln pennies are considered rare. The key factor is condition and mint errors. Coins that are uncirculated and graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A regular 1977 penny in circulated condition might be worth just 1 cent. But a high-grade mint state coin could sell for $100, $500, or even more depending on quality. Error coins are where things get exciting. Some 1977 pennies have double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These minting mistakes make the coin unique. A strong double die error can dramatically increase value. Off-center strikes that show part of the design missing can also sell for a high premium. There are rumors online claiming that a 1977 Lincoln penny is worth hundreds of thousands or even $787,976.43. However, there is no verified public auction record showing a 1977 penny selling for that exact amount. Extremely rare pennies like the 1943 copper Lincoln cent or the 1909 SVDB wheat penny have sold for huge amounts, sometimes over $1 million, but a regular 1977 penny does not usually reach those levels. Still, unique error coins in perfect condition can bring impressive prices at auctions. The value of a coin depends on several important factors. First is rarity. Second is condition. Third is demand. Fourth is authenticity. Collectors use grading companies to confirm authenticity and condition. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC often sell for more because buyers trust the grading. Let's understand current market value in a realistic way. A 1977 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is usually worth 1 cent to 5 cents. An uncirculated coin in MS-63 to MS-65 condition might sell for $1 to $10. Higher grades like MS-66 or MS-67 can sell for $100 or more. Proof coins from San Francisco can sell for $2 to $20 depending on condition. Rare error versions can range from $50 to several $1,000s. The coin is made mostly of copper. In 1977, the penny was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives it weight and a rich brown or red color. Copper prices also affect the melt value. Although melting US cents is restricted by law, collectors love red-colored pennies. When a coin is freshly minted and retains its original red luster, it is labeled RD for red. These coins are more valuable than brown or red-brown coins. So if you find a bright red 1977 penny in perfect shape, you might have something special. How can you check if your coin is valuable? First, look at the mint mark under the date. Second, check for doubling in the letters and numbers. Third, examine the edges and surface for unusual marks that look like mint errors rather than damage. Fourth, consider getting the coin professionally graded. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about history. Every Lincoln penny has passed through many hands. It may have been used during important historical events. The 1977 penny was circulating during the presidency of Jimmy Carter and during a time of economic change in the United States. Holding one is like holding a small piece of history. If you search your pocket change or old jars at home, you might discover hidden treasures. Many rare coins have been found in ordinary places. Always check carefully before spending old coins. Remember, condition is everything. A coin with scratches, heavy wear, or cleaning damage will lose value. Never clean your coins. Cleaning can reduce value significantly. The rare Lincoln penny market continues to grow as collectors around the world search for key dates, errors, and high-grade examples. Auction prices change over time depending on demand. Always check recent auction sales to understand current trends. Some of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever sold include rare early 1900s issues and major error coins. While the 1977 penny is generally common, rare varieties and perfect condition coins still attract serious collectors. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the 1977 cent current market value, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications on coins. Share this video with your friends who love coin collecting. You never know which small coin could turn into a big treasure. Keep searching your change. Keep learning about history. And remember, sometimes the smallest coin can tell the biggest story. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about pieces in American numismatics, the rare Lincoln penny. This small copper coin may look ordinary at first glance, but some versions are worth an unbelievable amount of money. Imagine finding a simple penny in your pocket that could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is the power of the Lincoln cent. The story begins in 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first introduced in the United States. It was created to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This was the first time in U.S. history that a real person appeared on a circulating coin. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it completely changed American coin design forever. Before this, coins featured symbolic figures, but Lincoln's portrait made history. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse side of the Lincoln penny featured 2 wheat stalks, which is why these coins are called wheat pennies. In 1959, the reverse design changed to show the Lincoln Memorial. That version, known as the Lincoln Memorial cent, continued for decades. Among these years, some rare errors and special varieties became incredibly valuable. Now let us focus on the 1980 Lincoln penny, one of the most searched coins in today's market. At first glance, a 1980 penny may seem very common. Millions were produced at the United States Mint in Philadelphia and Denver. However, certain 1980 pennies with errors or in extremely high grades can command impressive prices in today's coin market. In 1980, pennies were made primarily of copper with a small percentage of zinc. This was just before the major metal composition change in 1982, when pennies shifted to mostly zinc. Because of this, 1980 pennies still have that classic heavier copper feel. For collectors, condition is everything. A circulated 1980 penny might only be worth face value, just 1 cent. But a 1980 penny in uncirculated condition, graded MS-65 or higher, can be worth several dollars. In rare cases, if a coin is graded MS-67 or above, it could sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. The real excitement comes with mint errors. A 1980 penny with a double die error, off-center strike, or dramatic misprint can multiply its value significantly. Some error coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. Always examine your coins carefully under good lighting and magnification. When we talk about rare Lincoln pennies worth a lot of money, we must mention legendary examples. The most famous is the 1943 copper Lincoln cent. During World War II, pennies were made of steel to save copper for the war effort. However, a few copper blanks were accidentally used in 1943. These rare copper pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. One example sold for over $1 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Another famous treasure is the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent. Only a limited number were minted in San Francisco, and the initials VDB on the reverse were later removed due to controversy. Today, this coin can be worth thousands of dollars depending on condition. There is also the 1955 double die Lincoln cent, one of the most dramatic error coins in American history. The doubling in the lettering is clearly visible without magnification. Collectors are willing to pay thousands for authentic examples in strong condition. So what about the current market value of rare Lincoln pennies? Coin values depend on several factors including rarity, demand, historical importance, and overall condition. In today's coin collecting market, interest in rare pennies continues to grow. Auctions, online marketplaces, and coin shows regularly feature Lincoln cents that sell for impressive prices. While most 1980 pennies are worth only 1 cent, rare error varieties and high-grade examples can reach from $50 to several $1,000s. Some online rumors claim certain pennies are worth extremely high amounts like $787,976.42. While that specific figure may not apply to a standard 1980 penny, it shows how exciting and dramatic coin collecting can be. The truth is, only extremely rare and authenticated specimens reach values in the hundreds of thousands. Always verify with professional grading services before assuming high value. professional grading companies examine coins for authenticity and assign a grade based on condition. A difference of just one grade point can mean hundreds or thousands of dollars in price difference. This is why collectors handle coins carefully and store them properly in protective holders. The beauty of Lincoln pennies is that they are still found in circulation. Unlike many rare collectibles locked away in museums, pennies are everywhere. That means treasure could literally be hiding in your pocket, your old jar of coins, or your grandparents' collection. If you want to start searching for valuable Lincoln pennies, focus on key dates, mint marks, and visible errors. Check under the date for small letters like D or S, which represent different mint locations. Examine the lettering closely for doubling. Look for unusual weight or color differences. Even small details can mean big money. The history behind the Lincoln penny also adds to its charm. For more than a century, this coin has represented American heritage, strength, and unity. From the Great Depression to modern times, it has passed through billions of hands. Each coin carries a silent story of the past. Today on Coins, we encourage every viewer to look at pennies differently. Do not ignore them. Study them. Respect them. Because sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest surprise. The rare Lincoln penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. As the market grows and interest increases, values may continue to rise, especially for high-grade and error coins. The key is knowledge. Learn about minting history, understand grading standards, and stay updated with auction results. Knowledge turns an ordinary collector into a smart investor. Imagine discovering a rare error coin worth thousands. Imagine holding a piece of history that survived decades. That excitement is what makes coin collecting powerful and addictive. And it all starts with a simple penny. Thank you for watching Coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare Lincoln pennies and the 1980 market value, make sure to subscribe, like, and share. Keep searching, keep learning, and remember, every coin has a story, and your next penny could change your life forever. Today we are diving deep into one of the most exciting topics in the world of rare American coins, the legendary Lincoln penny, especially the mysterious 1988 D Lincoln cent that collectors are searching for right now. If you think a simple 1-cent coin cannot be worth serious money, stay with me, because by the end of this video you will look at every penny in your pocket in a completely different way. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln. It became the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and on the front side we see the powerful profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right, along with the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year of minting. For more than a century, this simple design has remained one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world. The reverse side has changed over the years. From 1909 to 1958 it featured 2 wheat ears, which is why those coins are called wheat pennies. In 1959, the reverse changed to the Lincoln Memorial design, and that version continued until 2008. The 1988 D Lincoln penny belongs to the Memorial design era. On the back, you see the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., and if you look very closely, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. That level of detail on such a small coin is incredible. Now let's talk about the 1988 D Lincoln penny specifically. The letter D under the date means it was minted at the Denver Mint in the United States. In 1988, millions of pennies were produced at Denver. In normal circulated condition, a regular 1988 D penny is usually worth only face value, just 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples sell for only a few cents to a few dollars depending on grade. So why are collectors talking about this coin? Why are some people claiming it could be worth a lot of money? The answer lies in rare mint errors and varieties. In the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning from one design of mint mark punch to another. In 1988, a small number of 1988 D pennies were struck using a reverse design that was actually intended for 1989. This created what collectors call a transitional reverse variety. The difference is extremely small and cannot be seen with the naked eye easily. You need magnification to study the lettering and specific design details on the reverse side. This rare variety is known among collectors as the 1988D reverse of 1989. It is one of the most famous modern Lincoln cent varieties. Only a small number have been confirmed. Because of its rarity, high-grade certified examples have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, depending on condition and certification by major grading services, such as PCGS or NGC. A genuine 1988D transitional reverse penny in high mint state condition can sell for several $1,000s. Lower grade examples may still bring hundreds of dollars if authenticated. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin market changes based on demand, collector interest, condition, and overall economic factors. Modern era coins and varieties have become extremely popular in recent years. Social media, YouTube channels, and online marketplaces have created a new wave of collectors searching pocket change for hidden treasures. A normal 1988D Lincoln penny in circulated condition is worth 1 cent. In uncirculated mint state condition, it may be worth between 10 cents and a few dollars. But the rare transitional reverse variety can reach prices from around $1,000 to $5,000 or more depending on grade. Exceptional examples in top condition can go even higher. When people see huge numbers like $787,976.41 connected with coins, it usually refers to extremely rare historic coins such as the 1943 bronze cent or the 1909 SVDB in perfect condition. A regular 1988D penny has not sold anywhere near that number. However, rare coins in general have crossed hundreds of thousands of dollars at major auctions. That is why the dream of finding a valuable penny keeps collectors searching every day. It is important to understand grading. Coin value depends heavily on condition. A coin with scratches, wear, and discoloration will be worth much less than a coin preserved in mint state condition with full red luster. Collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS65 or higher is considered high quality uncirculated. The higher the number, the greater the value. If you think you have found a rare 1988D variety, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy the original surface and reduce its value dramatically. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. The history of the Lincoln penny is filled with surprising stories. During World War II in 1943, pennies were made from steel instead of copper to save metal for the war effort. A few bronze pieces were accidentally struck, and those are now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 1955, a famous double die error was released into circulation, and today those coins are worth thousands. These stories show that even small 1-cent coins can become treasures over time. The 1988D transitional reverse variety is part of that tradition of hidden errors. It represents a small mistake at the mint that escaped into circulation. Because only a limited number were produced before the design change was corrected, collectors value them highly. Another important factor in coin value is population reports. Grading companies publish how many coins of each type and grade have been certified. If only a few examples exist in high grade, competition among collectors can push prices higher. Market demand also depends on trends. Lincoln cents are one of the most collected coin series in the United States. Millions of people collect them because they are affordable and widely available. This large collector base supports strong demand for rare varieties. If you want to search for a valuable 1988D penny, you will need a magnifying glass or microscope. Compare the reverse lettering carefully with known images of the 1989 reverse design. Study the shape of letters in United States of America and the designer initials FG near the base of the memorial. Small design differences are the key to identifying the rare variety. Always research carefully and verify information with trusted coin experts and certified dealers. The coin hobby is exciting, but it is important to separate realistic market values from exaggerated online claims. The beauty of coin collecting is that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. A simple penny sitting in a jar for years could turn out to be something special. Even if you never find a $1,000 coin, learning about history through coins is rewarding. Every Lincoln penny carries the story of America's past, economic changes, and minting technology. So next time you receive change from a shop, do not ignore the pennies. Check the dates. Look for mint marks. Use magnification. Build your knowledge. The 1988 D Lincoln penny may not always be worth a fortune, but the rare transitional reverse variety proves that even modern coins can surprise us. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and current market value, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Coins for more detailed coin history, market updates, and hidden treasure discoveries. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, the next valuable coin could already be in your pocket. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny, with special focus on the 1989 D Lincoln cent and its current market value. If you love hidden treasure, pocket change surprises, and coins that can be worth a fortune, then stay with me until the end, because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at your pennies. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birth anniversary of Abraham Lincoln. It became the first regular United States coin to feature a real historical person instead of a symbolic figure. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln was designed by Victor David Brenner, and since then, this small copper coin has become one of the most collected coins in the world. Over the years, many Lincoln cents have become extremely valuable due to minting errors, rare variations, low production numbers, and unusual metal compositions. Some have sold for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars at major auctions. Now let's talk about the 1989 D Lincoln penny. The D Mint mark means this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. In 1989, millions of pennies were struck in Denver, which means most 1989 D pennies in circulated condition are only worth face value, just 1 cent. However, here is where things get interesting. Certain 1989 D pennies with mint errors or in perfect uncirculated condition can be worth significantly more. For example, coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading companies can sell for hundreds of dollars. High-grade examples are rare because most pennies go straight into circulation where they get scratched, worn, and damaged. There are also error varieties to watch for. Off-center strikes, double die errors, repunched mint marks, die cracks, and clipped planchets can dramatically increase value. A dramatic error coin in mint state condition can sell for thousands depending on demand and rarity. Now let's address something important. You may have seen numbers like $787,976.41 mentioned online connected to Lincoln pennies. While it is true that certain ultra-rare Lincoln cents have sold for massive amounts, those are typically special key dates such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die. The standard 1989 D penny does not normally sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, in the world of coin collecting, one rare discovery can completely surprise the market. The current market value of a regular circulated 1989 D penny is 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, it may range from $1 to $10 depending on grade. In very high mint state grades like MS-66 or MS-67, values can range from $50 to several $100s. A major mint error example could go much higher depending on uniqueness. The coin is composed primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Since 1982, the United States Mint changed the composition from mostly copper to zinc due to rising metal prices. The weight of a 1989 D penny should be about 2.5 grams. If you find one weighing around 3.1 grams, that could indicate an unusual transitional error, and that would be worth investigating immediately. The obverse features the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the words "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1989 with the D Mint mark below it. The reverse in 1989 still displayed the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. Look closely at the steps of the memorial building. Strong detail and sharp lines increase collector interest. Condition is everything. A penny with full red luster, no scratches, no spotting, and perfect surfaces can be dramatically more valuable than a dull brown example. Collectors pay premiums for coins labeled RD for red, meaning original mint color remains. The coin market today remains strong, especially for certified high-grade coins. Online auctions, coin shows, and collector forums continue to drive demand. But remember, hype on social media sometimes exaggerates values. Always verify with recent sold listings and professional grading sources before assuming a coin is worth a fortune. If you think you found a special 1989 D penny, examine it under magnification. Check for doubling in the letters. Look for unusual shapes, misaligned strikes, or extra metal. Weigh the coin carefully with a digital scale. If something seems different from a normal penny, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Rare coins are not just about money. They are pieces of history. Every Lincoln penny has traveled through countless hands, witnessed decades of economic change, and survived in circulation. That small copper coin could have been used in a grocery store in the 1980s, dropped in a child's piggy bank, or saved quietly in a collector's album. The excitement of coin collecting comes from the hunt. Most pennies are common. But the possibility of discovering a rare error or high-grade gem keeps collectors searching rolls from banks every day. So what is the real story about the 1989 D Lincoln penny current market value? In normal condition, it is common. In exceptional condition or with rare errors, it can be worth significantly more. And while it may not realistically reach $787,976.41 under normal circumstances, the coin market always has surprises. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the 1989 D value, make sure you stay connected with Coins for more hidden treasure stories, rare coin discoveries, and real market value updates. Because the next time you check your pocket change, you might be holding history, and maybe even a small fortune.